first topic I want to get to is the Amazon rainforest. Now, some people think that this is the upper echelon's way of creating more businesses in that region. Some people say that the current, somebody who says that the current president over there is trying to do tree cleaning activities and trying to use that for more businesses, which means he does not give a crap about the Amazon rainforest being the lungs of the earth. Now, I want to know your thoughts on, one, do you think this is more of a business move, or do you think this is the fact that it took 3 weeks for them to finally do something to try to save it, or try to put water down and stuff of that nature, to do relief programs and stuff of that nature? Do you think there's a bigger scheme involved, or do you think it's one of those things where it's kind of catastrophic? What are your thoughts?
No, somebody set that shit on fire. Someone started that fire. The Amazon is too moist to go up in flames at this rate for this long. Nah.
Yes,
now,
somebody definitely did do
that. From what I know about this president in that region, he's Trumpish in that he's very capitalistic. Yeah. He's looking for the next buck that affects his pocket. He's looking for things that take care of him and his friends, if you will. If this is a massive region that was considered, let's say in this country, like a national forest, right? And it's lush with resources. It's in a great location. We could do a whole lot more with this than just allow it to exist the way it does.
Right.
I got my money on Trump shutting that shit down and being like, yeah, let's close the park and turn it into a shopping mall. This don't look like nothing other than that. If I can make it look like the Amazon caught on fire, right? And then I'm the president who puts the fire out and takes this devastation and turns it into financial well-being for my country, all while I'm wrapped up in the businesses that get those finances. Where's the loss for me as a person?
So do you think, in the grand scheme of things with everything going on, that this is something that is conscribed, this is something that is thought as a strategic play for business, e-commerce, everything involving sales, for the surplus of growing his area under his presidency from a business standpoint, all for the almighty dollar, is what you're basing this as?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think?
So I have a different spin on it. I think so. Like earlier in the month of August or either late July, the indigenous people, they actually went to like court and won and like sued the Brazilian government or whatever jurisdiction was, and they won. So I think it's a play against the indigenous people. It's like, all right, y'all gonna come over and play with the big boys. Let's play. Because
then you got to think of definitely displaced people that 100%. Are living in those regions, and are they getting paid money to leave? Are they being forced to leave? We're over here.
Fire is force.
Yeah, fire is force.
But then here's another spin on it. Do you think it is some of the people that live there that are trying to make this president look bad
by setting those natural resources on fire?
Nah.
I'm just trying to see what angle. I'm just trying to see what angle.
Another aspect to how it could be like for commercial success is that their president doesn't believe in global warming either. So it's like, all right, I don't believe in global warming, so I'll just knock these trees down. That's fine.
That's nuts.
It's not.
I think it's very interesting, because when I'm looking at this and I'm going, of all the things that you would touch, of all the land that we have, why would you go after the Amazon rainforest? Leave that alone. Like, we need some type of natural resource to replenish the resources that we have, like water, air, like just everything involving the rainforest. I feel like needs to be left alone. You can get land, you can get resources for business, land, stuff of that nature, building commercial buildings, anything like that that works. But why there particularly?
That's the most lush and nutrient-rich soil on the planet. So maybe they're not putting them all up. Maybe they're growing weed. I mean, that's big business. And first of all, in order to have this conversation, I think we have to start with it. We're in a global economy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if weed has become legalized in America, most of the biggest crops and biggest cash cows, if you will, in this country, we end up importing.
Right.
We don't have a lot of American cash crops. What, tobacco? And that's dying. Can't smoke nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
But weed's on the come up. Prohibition. We're in the prohibition of weed. We're inside of prohibition. So maybe it's cheaper to grow weed in Brazil in really good soil. I don't know. I'm not saying that we had anything to do with it. I'm saying there's a lot of different reasons why this would work financially, even if it isn't for a high-rise condo. So I just think that region has a lot of resources in its existence, in its soil, that are untapped. Like nobody's extracting financial gain from the rainforest right now. And I'm sure that at some point somebody was like, well, why not? What if we just take this piece? Like, how much does that affect?
But you know what happens when you just say, let me take this piece, then you get greedy, let me take another piece, then you get greedy, let me take another piece.
It's greedy to even start.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, so to even start it is greedy. But I just don't believe that this fire just somebody threw a cigarette butt.
Nah, that was.
And to wait 3 weeks.
That's what I'm saying.
Well calculated.
If a portion of Cali's on fire for 2 days,
they own it.
It's national news.
They own it.
And Cali is far drier than the Amazon rain. It's a rain forest. How?
My thing is, why would you want to even like be in there? You know how many unknown species are in there?
Well, if you set them all on fire,
well,
it ain't gonna
who
matter.
Said you gonna set them all on fire? They probably could have had some foresight, went deeper into the forest.
Right, but now I got this section to start with,
and then they're gonna come right back.
There ain't gonna be nothing there for them.
Yeah, and then they're gonna be living in the buildings that you built.
Nah.
All right.
If that's the case, there's a deer in your bedroom right now.
Nah.
That's what I'm saying. That premise doesn't hold.
Yes, it does.
Okay, if you say so.
I gotta pick your brain about that. You're saying that there are creatures that would force themselves to stay in that area. Why would they force if their resources around them are not the same and they're being burned?
I'm not saying like they're gonna crawl up into the bed next to you, but I don't want to see just some random creature that's been never seen before walking around where I'm trying to do a place of business. That's just wild.
Well, maybe it's not a place of business.
Right.
Or what?
The resource there is the soil.
Yeah, but somebody has to be working there. Somebody has to be there.
Right now?
In the event that they build a business. That's what you're saying.
Not even just, like, let's say they're using it for crops. Make
sure you're talking to Mike.
My bad. Like, let's say that you're using it for that land for crops, like you suggested. Aren't they not going to eat the crops? Let's say it's not just marijuana that they're growing, but they're growing other stuff. Aren't they not going to come eat the crops? Like, what they find out they like the shit?
If I'm an animal and I have my particular spot because of brain pattern and stuff like that,
mm-hmm.
and I see that where I eat at is vastly different, something is telling me instinct-wise I shouldn't be coming here.
Yeah, I don't like the Cajun area of the rainforest. I don't like Cajun forest. So
if I'm seeing my place, if I'm like...
That is true, though. That's a very good point.
Because if that's the case, I mean, you don't... For example, right? When we look at... for example, I live in a suburbia community. We're forcing rabbits, deer, duck out.
Mm-hmm.
When foxes. A suburban... Yeah, foxes... Potential, what else is being forced out? You name it, anything that's in the suburban area, turtles, whatever, stuff of that nature, even birds, they're being forced out. That spot that they always go to, that's their spot, that ain't your spot no more, and it don't look the same.
That is true.
You're right. The height of danger is higher.
Yeah, for sure.
You could be killed.
Yeah.
So it
by
makes
a
sense,
car,
right?
Not even by something with malicious intent,
right?
Okay. That's true. That's very true. It's another way to look at it.
Now you got to be a pretty
badass to come over here.
right. Like you got to be a crocodile or some type of something.
Yeah, crocodiles said we still own Florida.
Right.
For the record.
Yeah. Don't they have leopards in the rainforest? Or like jaguars or something like that?
I assume so.
That nature.
I would want to come across
There's a
one.
big cat in that forest.
I've never been to the rainforest.
I've never been to the rainforest.
I just thought it wasn't for us.
Yeah, it's not.
Like that's y'all got that.
I thought it wasn't for us.
I know
Until
it's
we
not.
set it on fire. Like
Nah,
we as humans, not we as me.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's not for me. So